Sitting down, counting out, smiling through the taste of blood in my own mouth. I got bruises and broken bones, but they don't know I ain't in this ring alone. I'm a fighter. No one can say that I'm a running hider. I was born to be a do-or-dyer, a make-it-righter. Don't throw that towel just yet. Don't cash in that last bet, 'cause I hit harder when I'm tired. I'm a fighter. I get back up, that's what I do. I didn't soldier on this far just to lose. So take your shot, is that all you got? I'm a fighter. No one can say that I'm a running hider. I was born to be a do-or-dyer, a make-it-righter. Don't throw that towel just yet. Don't cash in that last bet, 'cause I hit harder when I'm tired. Yeah, I'm a fighter. Oh, no one can keep me down. They didn't know, but they know now. That I'm a fighter. No one can say that I'm a running hider. Don't cash in that last bet. Don't throw that towel just yet. I'm a fighter.
Hi guys, welcome to Monday night. Checking out the sound because usually StreamYard does that to me. I hope you guys love that intro. I can guarantee you, if you paid attention to that intro with Donald Trump, I can promise you, you had a tear or two in your eye, because I literally downloaded that song today because I didn't even know it existed until I found it, and I was like, what a perfect intro. Start the new year. This is actually the first video on Facebook for me for the new year, guys, obviously, because I was banned for a whole month, and it's long. Even though I did my podcasts on YouTube, which people still don't know how to download YouTube. So before we start the show, guys, listen. I don't know how longer that this account has before they ban me on Facebook. And as soon as they ban me on Facebook, I'm done. I really didn't even care for that month. It actually felt good to be off Facebook. But you need to download YouTube, and just the Canadian Dawn is very simple. Subscribe, hit notifications. It's going to be the same times on Mondays and Thursdays, but on YouTube, because once they ban this Facebook account, which is just a matter of time, I think I got one more strike left and that's it. And I'm not opening up another account. That will be it for me for Facebook. So please, if you like watching the podcast, if you want some common sense, if you really want to pay attention and know what's going on in the world, from the only podcaster in Canada, I can promise you guys, I'm the only podcaster in Canada that has been providing common sense answers and stuff around the world. Who cares about what happens in Canada? I sound like Carnage Carney now. Who cares? That's just, stop wasting your time in Canada. I pay attention to what happens in the States, because what happens in the States is a ripple effect around the world. So before we proceed, because I sound like an old lady at bingo, it's been a while, let's do the shows with, of course, our shout outs going to our freedom family, our freedom fighters, of course, our common sensors, our purebloods, once upon a time purebloods, our American patriots. And I got to start the show off with a big bang after the shout outs. I know some will be happy, some will be surprised, some will be disappointed, but I have something that I have to share, and I'm going to share it with you guys just because it bothers me. And I'm a guy about when it comes to loyalty. I do believe in loyalty, especially when it comes to getting the truth out there and helping people. So we'll get to that in a second. So first shout out's going to my brother from a different mother, Mr. Sean. Sean, I literally got your present. It is right here, my friend. And I just remembered, buddy, I'll wear it Thursday. Look what Sean got me. If you couldn't ask for a better, look at that, guys. I totally forgot, Sean, to put it on because, like I said, offended. It says, well, whip-de-doo-dah, right? I wear it Thursday, Sean. Thanks a lot, brother. I am going to wear it Thursday. I literally, I just ran in the door about half an hour from the gym, and I forgot about it, buddy. So I promise Thursday I will wear it, and it's going to fit good. So it's like I shop at Baby Gap because my clothes are getting smaller on me because I started the gym again, which feels great after 3 years. Feels really good to be back at the gym. So anyway, shout out going out to Gilles Bourgeois, Judy Horn, all the way from Kentucky. How you doing, Miss Debbie, Monique, Kim, Elizabeth, Julie, Camaro Chevy Girl. Julie says Ontario here, snow is covered. Yeah, it's actually still snowing. How you doing, Miss Therese, Miss May, Yolanda, Miss Karen, Bert, Miss Patty Votor, Eldon. Welcome back, Carter. That's a good one. Welcome back. I never even thought about trying to download that. Welcome back, to try to do an AI. I'll ask my buddy Manny if he can do that for my next intro. Welcome back. I wanted to do it tonight, do the Eminem, guess who's back again. But then if I do that, they'll penalize me because of copyright and all that stuff, just to let you know. Welcome back. What do you think will happen with the nonsense again? We'll get to that in a minute. Miss Genevieve from the Rock. Who else here? Let's see. How you doing, Brenda Pryor, Roland, Vincent, brother from a different mother, Miss Nicole Gallant, great last name. How you doing, Miss Carrie from Ontario, Juanita, brother from a different mother, Joelle, Miss Tamara, Joanna, my favorite Canadian friend, glad you're back, love from the USA. How you doing, Stephen from Nova Scotia, Ron from the Peg area, Lisa from the UK, from the shit show UK, but things are clearing up in the UK. You've seen what happened. I don't know. Obviously you didn't watch my last live on where the digital ID, like I told everybody, they scrapped it in the UK. Like I knew they would. Even if they were trying to bring it in, Lisa, it wasn't going to last long. It was just going to cause a whole riot and chaos. Let's see, Martin Duga from Rishabaktu, brother from different mother. Nancy, let's see, my Mac, how you doing? Broke out of Facebook jail. Miss Lee's, Mike from Riverview, Miss Jean-Michel. Let's see, Miss Janice. Janice, I seen you at the Wildcats game the other day. You didn't look at me, so I didn't bother getting your attention. I think you were with the kids. Cafty, Sylvie and Julien, of course, from up north. Cheryl Bacon, Daphne, Gloria, and the list goes on. Susan and Scott Dodson. That's a new one. Who else? Yeah, Brenda Pryor, Jeanette, Miss Lindsay from from the island, of course, Miss Sharon from Manitoba, Jim Morrison. Kate says, finally. Yeah, finally. All right. First things first, guys, I'm going to start off, and it's going to be a kind of a shocker. How you doing, Benoit Benoit? Great friend of mine that his son plays hockey with mine. He's probably either in Passamaquoddy or he's up north where he works. All right, first things first, guys. I'm gonna hit a shocker for you, right? And some will be disappointed, some will be shocked, especially my American family. But I have to do it. I have to say it. And I told my sponsor again. Thank you for my sponsor, Gilles. Andre Dupuis from Dupuis Towing. And again, he sponsored the show for the next 6 months. So obviously, money doesn't come out of my pocket. Who does that? I mean, honestly, who pays out of his pocket like $100 a month to bring podcasts to the people, obviously. But thanks to thanks to Andre, he sponsors the show because StreamYard alone, it's like $64, and having a VPN, because if I didn't have a VPN, obviously I would have been banned a long time ago with a VPN. Because as far as they're concerned, my computer with a VPN is registered in the States. If I didn't have that VPN and it was still registered in Canada, I would have been blocked and deleted and who knows what. So that's why I have no other choice with the VPN. And thanks to Andre Dupuis Towing, he keeps on sponsoring me. It's been almost 2 years. So a shout out going out to you, Andre. You're the man. And he loves watching my show when he's towing people at night. That hat is from me. Glad to see you. I always wear it, Miss Chantal. Always wear my Trump. Depending if it's a red shirt, I wear a red hat, and I still got a couple back there. So anyway, first things first, guys, listen. I did something and I have to do something. I know some of you guys will be surprised, but I'm going to do it and I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it and let's just drop the subject right away. Cause I know some of you guys, especially my American family, will be disappointed, but you guys got to understand my point of view on it. And I know it's not the news, but I'm going to say it. That's why I'm going to say it, get rid of it and drop it. And I have to do it just for the fact, cause it really made me very upset. All right. So first thing to start off, guys, and is when I was banned, the very first day that I woke up in the morning and I found out that I was banned for a month, I sent the message out to Roland Cerna from Justice 23. I said, listen, Roland, I said, I'm banned for a month, my friend. I said, it's going to suck for the Patriot family. It's going to suck for the Canadian family. Is it possible, my friend, that you bring me on your show? Because I spent hours on the phone and on the computer with Roland, who we all love, Roland. I spent hours on the phone trying to get him to teach him how to do the StreamYard and how to do this and how to do that. And to have the kind of show that I have. And many times I've asked Roland, but it's been a while, brother. I haven't had you on the show. A lot of us, a Canadian family, we're not getting the news down in the States, obviously, even though I get a lot of it because I have that VPN. And I try to do it the best as I can, but putting two heads into an interview is better than just having one. And it's like a session, like a group session. You know what I mean? Like we have 120 people. And for me, 120 people doesn't sound like a lot for a lot of people, a lot of podcasters, which I find it a lot. But I picture myself in a room with 120 people. That's a lot of people. Understand? It's just as much people as, at a Montreal Canadiens game, right, Mo? Who's watching? I don't see you watching, Mo. It's the exact attendance for a Montreal Canadiens game for you Habs fan. So I deleted Roland because I sent Roland many messages saying, hey, you should add me on the show. I'm gone for a month. Bring me onto the show on your show so we can, do some lives together on your show instead of me always bringing you on my show. And I sent him a few messages and Roland never got back to me. He would see the messages, but he never got back to me. Then I sent him a couple articles that he should talk on his show. And he read them, but he never got back to me. All right. And to me, that was, it was pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? It was pretty, it was pretty settling for me because I'm a very loyal person. And when many times Roland would tell me that he's like, when I said, Roland, let's get you on the show because it's been a while, he would say he's too busy. But in the past month, I've seen Roland do about 5 to 6 podcasts a week. Honest to God, I've seen him do about 5-6 podcasts a week for a guy that was too busy. So to me, I'm not a dumb person. I use common sense. I don't know, there's no filter. I see down the path. I give him a couple of chances, and Someone mentioned to me today, when I did talk about it, they looked at me and they said, "Are you thinking something I'm thinking?" I said, "Well, you tell me what you're thinking." They're like, "Well, if he's doing 5 podcasts a week when he knows you're banned, basically, I think what he's trying to do is take your Canadian family and put them on his show." And you know what? That's exactly. I said, you know what? You hit the nail on the coffin there, because I do believe that's exactly what he's doing. All right. He likes to preach his Bible. He likes to preach to God and stuff like that. That's stuff I don't do. Obviously, I don't need to do that on his sermon. But you know what I mean? I believe in loyalty. I believe in trust. I believe in a lot of things. And I brought him on my show many times for him to gather some of my the Canadian family to watch his stuff, and vice versa. So to me, it's an insult to me. Listen, if I send you a message or you send me a message and I don't message you back, like a text message or a Facebook message, it's not because I get tons of messages every day. Like, you don't even understand. I get hundreds of messages of the Freedom family sending me stuff. But I will send you a message if I can get around it. But Roland and me are on a different path there. I got his phone. I send him message on his phone, and vice versa. All right. So with that being said, it's done. I deleted him. I didn't block him, because I will block him eventually, to be honest with you. But I just want to tell my Canadian family and the American family, you will never see Roland back on my show ever again. And I'm sorry about that. We're just going to leave it to that. And let's get to the stuff that's, 2026 is the cleanup year. Exactly. And I believe in loyalty, and that's far from being loyal. All right. First things first, guys, let's talk about some stuff. Let's show some pictures, and I got some videos. Let's get on with the show, and enough about the whining. All right. So a lot of things are happening around the world, obviously. Greenland, Venezuela, Cuba, you name it. And there's always a strategy behind what Donald Trump is doing. All right. There always is. So a lot of things are happening in Minneapolis with the whole daycare fraud. But the daycare fraud is, think of a wheel, and then the wheel has spokes. The daycare fraud is nothing, not a darn thing, because I mean, there's the transportation, there's the Medicaid, there's a bunch of other frauds that are worth 10 times more than what the daycare fraud is. And it's a Somalian people, obviously. I don't care if this offends most people, but the Somalian people are, I would say 90% of Somalian people are useless. Like Donald Trump, and I love Donald Trump for when he no filter. Well, that's not very political for him to say that. Donald Trump, and I'll say this once and I'll say it again, and everyone should know this, including Mr. Freedom, who calls himself Mr. Freedom, who's a very disgusting man. He should stay away from politics, stick to making funny videos. But when it comes to politics, I think, I'm going to send him, I sent him personal messages to come on my show again to talk about and debate about why he hates Donald Trump so much. But he would not. I wish he would debate with me and come on my show, but they're too chicken shit to come on my show and debate with Donald Trump, obviously, right? So we'll just leave it to that, to Mr. Freedom, Mr. Big Time, he calls himself. You'll see, if you follow Mr. Big Time, you're going to see a lot of insults coming from me as of tomorrow, because now I'm unbanned. I'm going to try to not get banned again, but you're going to see a lot of insults going to Mr. Josh Bigger, aka Mr. Big Time, with him insulting Trump. But there's a lot of things that are happening that Trump has a lot on his plate. And obviously he has a lot on his plate because he's trying to do this all at the same time. You know what I mean? It's a lot to take in, but there's reasons. If you've never been to Venezuela, then you don't even have the understanding. For a guy like myself that has that goes to Colombia about 3 to 4 times a year, to see millions, not hundreds, thousands or hundreds of thousands, millions of people in Colombia that escape Venezuela on purpose and literally cannot work in Colombia because they don't have work visas. So they do all the stuff you can imagine on the streets, and women, thousands of women and mothers that leave their kids in Venezuela. This is the truth. They leave their little ones in Venezuela so they can prostitute themselves all through Colombia. I would say a good 80% of all the prostitution in Colombia is from Venezuelan ladies. Just to let you know, and it's heartbreaking and it's disgusting, but these people don't have social welfare down there. You understand? So it's either you work or you die. All right, and that's the harsh part about third world countries. They don't have welfare systems. That's why you have all these damn Somalians moving into United States. And not only do they collect welfare, because we're back on the Somalian subject, is the fact that 80% of all Somalians collect welfare and do not have any plans of ever working. That's why you're seeing Minnesota. That's nothing. Every blue state from California to Maine to Michigan, New York, every single one of them. Like, if you think Minnesota's bad, you should see California. California are in like $900 billion in corruption that's coming out. Of course, the news is not going to report it, but you're going to see a lot of report. That's why you're having all these protesters trying to stop this, because they were sending millions of dollars and literally laundering them back into the Democrat Party so they can do their Democrat stuff. So you have all the Democrats, all the senators, all the governors of all those blue states, Democrat blue states, literally paying all these agitators to, fudge things up and cause all these scenes. All right. Let me show you a video with an ICE, because to me, if I was an ICE person working for ICE, I would lose my shit. There'd be a lot of people with pepper spray in the face. I wouldn't even give them a warning. It'd be, oh, you're doing this, you're doing that. Okay, zoom. And I go through more pepper spray than I go through Heinz ketchup. Let me tell you that. Check out this 41-second video.
We're here to arrest a child sex offender. And you guys are out here honking.
No, we're pressed. We're not
That
honking.
vehicle right there is honking and impeding our investigations while we're trying to arrest a child sex offender. That's who you guys are protecting. Insane. That's what we're doing. My word's not for you. My word is not for you. I don't have to do it. It's insane. How you can be honking.
These liberal ladies are completely insane. You want to talk about impotence? I can see a liberal lady from a mile away, and if you want to see something get impotent right away in Turtle, it's when I see a lady and I know she's a liberal voter, and it's just, I don't know if it's just me that can see right through them, but all these agitators, 90% of them, or we'll say 80% of these agitators are liberal ladies, like Democrat voters, ladies, and whatever you think you call them. I don't want to say what I think of them. And then the 20% of the guys, because I'm not going to call them men, are like, there's a guy the other day, well, somewhat in a dress, yelling and screaming in California to stay away from Greenland, and the people are behind him yelling and screaming with him. And he's a guy, a person in a dress, a male in a dress, and they actually pay attention to this. If you haven't figured out by now that these are paid agitators, then there's something wrong. All right, let's see what your guys. What do you guys have to say here? Trump is bringing his son into politics. Of course he is. Trump is bringing his son into politics, Irene, because it's going to be Don Jr. and it's probably going to be Barron Trump in the future. And then if we follow The Simpsons, it was supposed to be his daughter. That was supposed to be the first female president. Remember, if you watched The Simpsons for 2028, was supposed to be his daughter that was going to take over his place. But that's, that could be the future thing. I don't think it's going to happen. I think The Simpsons kind of dropped the ball on that. But we'll leave it to that. Nancy, you sent me that video about He's the White Wolf. Now, I started watching it, but it was too late. So I will watch it later about this whole white wolf and whatever you sent me. It's actually in my Facebook, and I'm definitely going to watch it. I don't even know what that means. What Sean just said, boss, is that your blank rag? I don't even know what that is, but anyway, we'll keep it. Keep an eye on Vance, Bondi, Walz, and Johnson. I don't like Vance. I've said this from the start to everybody. I don't like JD Vance because in 2016, JD Vance totally, let's say, dumped crap all over Trump. And you can't just torture Trump in 2016 and then switch up. It doesn't make any sense to me. All right. So once a Trump hater, always a Trump hater because you're deranged. And the stuff that JD Vance used to say in 2016, I don't see how someone could change, to be honest with you, and especially change to the point that you're the vice president. So that's always been iffy with me. I don't know what to tell you when it comes to that. That's the only part I can't figure out. It's the only part I can't figure out is why Vance. There was a lot of better people than Vance, to be honest with you. So anyway, I can't wait till Trump goes to the World Economic Forum. So that's what thank you guys. That's who the white wolf is, JD Vance. I'll have to watch it, guys. I don't know. I'll have to watch it, but it just, there's something wrong with it. All right. That's another thing. Thank you for bringing that up. All right. So all we've been hearing about for over years and years and years is the fact that Trump is this and Trump's bringing in the New World Order. And it just mind-blowing when someone says Trump's bringing in the New World Order. And it's just completely idiotic. And I tried for you guys tonight. It's not that I tried hard enough, but I think most of you that follow me know about this. All right. Frank goes, is the QFS real? Yeah. The quantum financial system's been in play for a couple of years now, Frank. 100%. The fiat system is going. There's no IRS in the States no more. And I think they dropped something like 80,000. They fired like something like 80,000 IRS. The IRS building has been literally demolished. Not demolished like demolished, but from top down, let's just say. But yeah, the QFS has been, the quantum financial system with the new rainbow currency. I've showed people that followed me about what the new rainbow currency is going to look like. Yes, I know, Elizabeth, they've been saying Paul Walker's playing JD. I don't think that's true, to be honest with you. I think everybody's following a little bit too much on Tyler Hansen, even though I love the guy, Tyler Hansen, the fittest flat earther. But as for the New World Order, before I veer off here, and I got a lot of videos to talk, let's talk about this. In 2017, when Donald Trump went to the WEF, when he went to Davos, he made that one speech. Remember that speech, guys? Remember that speech? What about Canada taxes, Frank? That's going to be in the future, not now. The liberals are going to literally destroy themselves. And then United States is going to, we are already the United States. We're already the 51st state. We've been the 51st state since 2020. So obviously you're just a newbie, Frank. But yeah, we've been we've been taken over as the 51st state back in 2020. That's why Trump has said Canada's going to be the 51st state. Whatever Trump says, believe it. Let's just put it that way. All right. So remember that speech that Donald Trump said for Donald Trump literally said in 2017 in front of all the world leaders. He specifically said, and I'm not going to say it word by word, but I'm going to say it the way it was meant to be said. He literally said, and he looked at all the leaders, whatever you guys think you're doing, whatever plans that you think you're going to do with the one world order and the new world order and the digital ID and all that, it's not going to happen. He literally came out and said, it's not going to happen. Whatever plans you think you're going to do, it's not going to happen. So if this orange man was anything to do with the WEF, he would have never stopped the defunding the WEF, defunding the UN, defunding, getting out of the, what do you call it, the Paris Accord. You name it, they've got out of, all right? Out of, completely, okay? And when he's saying, I think it was 2 or 3 days later, that's when George Soros came out before the whole pandemic and said, Donald Trump is a threat to our democracy. And that's when all the news went crazy in 2017 with the whole word democracy. I hate that word with a passion now. I can't even stand that word democracy, all right? Because it's been overused by all the media, all right? So Orange Man bad. I wish I had that clip for you guys, and I'm going to get it. I wrote it down. I'm going to get that clip from him specifically saying to all of them, you guys are done. And I can't wait till he talks this time in the WF, because I'm going to be definitely paying attention when he says whatever he needs to say to demolish what they think they're going to try to do, right? Well, Donald Trump is, Pierre Poilievre, you really disappointed me when you said that Trump is putting all these tariffs on all these countries because he's trying to seize He's trying to seize Greenland, so he's going to do it by wrecking other economies. Pierre Poilievre, I only like you for the fact that I hate liberals. I don't really care for you that much, but if you had to pick, one out of the two demons, obviously we're going to go with you because I don't trust anything from Quebec. So anyone that thinks that Max Bernier is good, you better think again, because Max, anything from Quebec is it's crap. Besides, there's only one thing that's good out of Quebec, and it's the poutine. The poutine. That's it. That's the only thing that ever came out of Quebec that was even decent is the poutine. Not one politician that ever came out of Quebec is good. So mark my word. Of course, Anne says, I remember saying that. Of course, the less of the two evils. That's what I want to say. Exactly. But yeah, we have no other choice just to go with Pierre. And I'll be honest with you. Here's another thing. We put Pierre in and Pierre messes up and does the opposite. I can guarantee I can promise you that 10,000 of the people that I'm associated, the underground, when we go back to Ottawa, it's not going to be, bouncy castles and hay rides. All right. We're expecting, well, they're expecting, I'm not, because I know the truth. They're expecting that when Pierre goes in and if he messes things up and does the opposite, to try to bring in the new world order, which it's never going to happen. I mean, shit's going to hit the fan. There's not enough false RCMP pricks in Canada to put up with 10,000 ex-soldiers, ex-military, ex-police officer, ex-firefighters. I mean, alpha guys. This group, this underground group that I've been together for about 3 years now, you don't understand. And Legault quit. Norman, Legault was arrested a long time ago. Legault was on the list back in 2020 when I did my live. Back in 2020, that I said that Justin Trudeau and Legault were the first two politicians arrested in 2020. They kept him there to deal his cards, expose. And what happened? Why did Legault quit? Because he got caught doing some very bad things, right? Some very bad things. Speaking of very bad things, I want to show you guys something, all right? Since I've been gone for a month, there's a lot of stuff that's been happening. Even tards that think that they're going around writing books and they're the heroes of the whole convoy and all that stuff. If the people only know the truth, and I don't even care about the convoy. Like I said, it was just, to me, it was great. I had a lot of tears in my eyes as I was leading the convoy from all the maritime trucks and leading it and seeing all those people on the bridge. It brought a tear to my eye. It was great. It was a memory that I'll always cherish. But the point is I knew I was going down there and nothing was going to be done because we were going down there just to protest and not F things up. And I want to go down there to fudge things up because obviously doing circle jerks and peaceful protest doesn't get you nowhere. Did it help anything? Yeah, it showed the world that as a country we can get together and do these convoys. So it helped in that part. But I've told everybody when I was doing my lives, they weren't going to be able to get away with what they were going to do in the first place. They weren't going to be able to mandate all the vaccines that people weren't going to work. They weren't going to mandate the vaccines in order to get food. I mean, I've said it was being exposed for what the corruption it really was. I'm glad for what happened. But what really is really disappointing is when I come back and I jump on Facebook and I have this idiot now doing podcasts with his other idiot, the karaoke native chick, wannabe karaoke singer. Check this out.
When somebody takes the time to research what the symbol of Ottawa is for the city.
And before I even get further, for the people that have been following me for the longest time, I want you guys to watch this video and I want you to tell on the comment sections, comment, when did I actually say this? Let's put it this way. When was like this retard is coming on in 2026 to bring this news out? But I want you guys that have been following me for the longest time, how long ago did I actually say this?
When somebody takes the time to research what the symbol of Ottawa is for the city symbol, once you see it, you can't unsee it. It is basically demonic to look at it. And you wonder why our country is faced down a very dark path right now. It symbolizes it all right there. I've personally seen it. You feel it when you go to the city. There's a lot of amazing people in Ottawa, and I've met so many amazing people. It's a gorgeous city for some of the architecture, but I mean, there's like an aura to it that it's dark. And
okay, I'm bringing it up because I haven't seen this before.
Oh,
And but you
once you see it,
you
can't unsee it.
I'm going to bring it up right now. This it?
That's it. What does that remind you of? If you're a
It looks
Christian,
like 666 to me,
isn't it? Yeah, demonic, right there.
doesn't
And
it?
you can't unsee that. Sorry, but it's on every manhole. It's on every light standard.
Really?
It's right there. I mean, it's right in front of your eyes, and people still can't see it.
So Sean said 2024. Well, you're completely wrong, Sean, because when I got arrested in Ottawa back in 2022, because I was the first guy to be arrested as soon as I arrived. They didn't even bother with Pat King and all the rest of the fools behind them. I was the first one arrested because they didn't want me to do my speech because I was supposed to speak on Sunday. We arrived Saturday. They didn't want me to do my speech because they seen and heard my speeches I was doing at the Moncton rallies of 3,500 people and 5,000 people. And they know the speech I was bringing, right? I was bringing Sunday was really going to get the people wound up. So I was the first one to be arrested. But I said that back in 2022. And you know why I said it back in 2022? Because I had two friends as RCMP officers that were coming to court with me for Ottawa because they wanted 5 years for me, 5 years. Okay. And because I had these two RCMP officers in the back in the Zoom call with me, protecting me from their Ottawa stupid law. When I looked at one of my RCMP friends, because he followed me on, on the protests and stuff like that, he watched me, he knows. And I looked at him and without saying his name, I said, "You must think I'm crazy." And he looked at me, he said, "No, not really." I said, I want to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. You got your cell phone with you? And he was on his cell phone. I said, "You got another one?" He said, "Yes." I said, "I want you to look up the Ottawa logo. He said, "The Ottawa logo?" I said, "Please look up the Ottawa logo and tell me what you see." So anyway, he looks up the Ottawa logo and he's like, "I don't see anything." I said, "You're looking at what I'm looking at." And I sent him the logo. He goes, "Yeah, I'm looking at it." I said, "You don't see what I see?" He goes, "What do you see?" And I said, "You don't see the 666? And then he looked at it and he looked at it. And then he goes, "Oh my God, I never even realized that." I had an RCMP officer that literally changed his attitude in like a minute when he thought, I'm kind of over the edge with this whole mandate and protest and stuff. But once I told him I showed him that our capital city's logo was 666, he literally went just like that. And let me tell you, if it wasn't for him, Ottawa would have won their way of putting me in jail for 5 years for, leading the convoy. Even before Pat King and all of those people and the fake heroes, because I'm the one that called Pat King right after I got out of jail after 14 hours. And when I had to go, they drove me down to the train station, said I had to leave. And I called Pat King. I said, buddy, they arrested me. I'm on my way back to New Brunswick, or I'm looking at being in jail for the next 5 years if I don't leave right away. And I said, they're coming after you, guaranteed, just a matter of time. I'm the one. All right. Now, I've been seeing some guys here, and I had some people, and even though, guys, I have so much to talk about. Let me get to this silver, okay? Let me get to this silver thing, because I actually had one of my followers message me about silver. Let me talk about the silver thing and the gold and all this, and it's just a common sense question. It's a common sense answer. You guys do what you want to do with it, and I'm just going to throw it out there for you. It is too late to buy silver. It is too late to buy silver. It's too late to buy gold. And I'll tell you why. When the silver was $20 an ounce, it was great. All right. It's like the first time in, you take a chance and you get it. I've said this back in 2021. If you want to get into something, get into silver, get into, minerals. But it doesn't mean I would do it. Because let's do this. Let's just take this. Unless you got a large sum of money, and I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars of money to waste. What do you think buying $1,000 of silver, all right, is going to do for you, even if you double your money, triple your money, quadruple your money, or even made 5 times your money on $1,000? What is $5,000 going to do for you today, right now, if you had $1,000 put away and you bought silver back in the day, and it made you $4,000 profit? In this day and age, it's not doing anything. Okay. But if you had $100,000 and you bought $100,000 of silver and it made you $400,000, now we're talking. All right. You see the difference here? Why are you going to put yourself in poverty to take $1,000 out of your pocket to pay for bills that you need to pay now and to try to wait months at a time, maybe a year or two, to make $3,000? Guys, you piss on $3,000. It's impossible, and it's kind of idiotic to invest in something that's just going to double your money, unless you've got 50,000 or 100,000 and more. Maybe 10,000. Yeah, 10,000, double your money. But it doesn't make any sense. Use your common sense. All right. Unless you got $50,000 and you double or triple, quadruple your money. Now you're seeing it. All right. Now you see a little bit of it. But like, okay, Steven said, I bought silver at $30. Okay. Bought it at $30. It's worth $100 today or 120. So on the, you bought it at 30. Let's say you bought $1,000. You're going to make $3,000. Is that worth? That's worth it when you bought it at $30. Okay, that's worth it. You may quadruple your money, but why would you go and waste your time buying at 80, 90, $100 now? It's not going to go up to $400 or $500. All right, just to let you know. And if you get that kind of money, then yeah, put it into the silver. But who cares if you doubled your money and you made an extra $1,000 or $2,000? Whippy doo dah. Where's my shirt with Archie Bunker? Whippy doo dah. I mean, take the money that you have, all right? Take the money that you have and pay for the bills that you need to pay. But if you got extra money, and we're talking $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, and you want to make some money, no problem. But if you want to make $1,000, I mean, all the power to you. So Makta says, if it becomes unattainable, it's impossible. Silver is like anything else. I mean, they're going to try to stop it, but there's so much silver in the world. They're just trying to make it seem scarce, just like oil. All right. I mean, silver, gold. If you know how much gold was in the world, I mean, shit. Down in Saudi Arabia and Qatar and all that, you've got gold. They got, like, those princes got their houses and their cars made out of gold. You know, Donald Trump's got a toilet made out of gold. So yeah, it was good to get into it when it was, $1,000 an ounce and vice versa. But it's kind of a waste of time right now, unless you got hundreds of thousands of dollars or $50,000. Why waste your time? That's my point. I just thought I would share that with you because I see some people, they want to take out $500 and buy silver for what? To make an extra $500 in a year or two? If you got it, go for it. All right. So anyway, as for Chris, you're an idiot. Please, for the love of God, don't create a podcast. If that offends people that follow Chris and Tamara, you shouldn't be following me because I really hate those two with a passion. I really do. Only the real true heroes know the real true facts. And it ain't from those grifters, I like to call them, especially Tamara, the grifter. But Chris just took charge of something that wasn't even his to begin with. All right. So we'll just leave it to that. Speaking of bad man, Orange Man Bad, check this out. And I want you guys to comment because I like your guys' interaction. I want you to tell me if this is a good thing or a bad thing. Ready? Here we go.
As early as possible on March 8th, we are set to lose an hour of sleep. That's the earliest possible start date since national law mandates the clocks change on the second Sunday of March. And on Capitol Hill, Congress is looking at those two bills that aim to make daylight saving time permanent in the U.S. President Trump has urged lawmakers in the past to do away with the time change. So our first official spring story of 2026.
So after watching that video, Orange Man Bad, why would Donald Trump want to keep the time at the exact same time year round? All right. Why would Donald Trump want to keep that time, which we all know? I can't give the answer. I want to see what your guys' point is. And let's, we got 15 minutes, guys. Why do you think it's very important what Donald Trump is doing with this time change? Anybody? Because I don't even know why they changed the time in the first place. I actually know the reason, but I want to see if you guys know the reason. Come on, you guys know must know the reason. When it finally climbs here, life will be good. Come on. What do you guys think? You guys are still talking about silver. Nancy goes, US is lucky. I mean, it's going to be everywhere, not just USA. Anybody? Why do you think? Anybody? Come on. Some countries don't have it stopped. Yeah, there's some countries. Anybody? I'll tell you why. Because the body, all right, in the winter months is when everybody's in most of the depression, all right? In the winter months is when everybody is in depression, because when you go to work, it's dark. When you come home from work, it's dark. That's when you don't get the sunlight you need, when the hour changes. So with that being said, Donald Trump is changing it to make sure that we have more light in the day, where we come home, where we're not in that depression because of the whole time change. All right. Just to let you know, because it makes sense. Whoever just said that. All right. So with that being said, that is the main reason, because people tend to do, thank you, Andre, more daylight, vitamin D. I was just going to say that. Vitamin D makes sense, because people tend to fall in this huge depression from the time change, fall back up until springtime, spring forward, right? So it just makes sense. And yes, it had changed, bringing it back to the original calendar in 1582. We all know 13 months, not 12, 13 months. Will it ever change? I wish I could see that in my crystal ball, guys. I really could. It'd be great if they could, keep it back to what it used to be before they switched it up. Will it happen? I don't know. I wish I could, because if I could predict that, then I would definitely predict the Lotto 649 numbers. To me, I don't know, but it's always been around that they were going to change it, but Donald Trump is going to change it, just to let you know. And it's already been signed. It's already been signed, just to let you know. So it's gonna happen. As for Greenland, I want you guys, for Greenland, for the people that didn't know this, I want you guys to check out this 30-second video of Greenland and how all of a sudden Denmark and other countries are involved in Greenland because Donald Trump wants it. Check this out.
And annex all of Greenland, something that 85% of people living in Greenland oppose.
Well, again, and let's look back. Denmark has a terrible history with Greenlanders. There was forced sterilizations up until the 80s or the 90s. So all of a sudden, now that the U.S. has expressed an interest, there is this new interest. And again, the United States needs to be in control to prevent a war, and that we do not want to get dragged into someone else's war.
So, did you guys hear what he said? Anybody hear what he just said there? What they used to do to Greenlanders up until the 90s? Did anybody catch that? What did they used to do to the Greenlanders up until the 90s? Anybody? Did anybody catch that? Anybody catch what he said there? What did they used to do to the Greenlanders? Anybody? Forced sterilization. Yes, sterilizing. They were forcing the women to sterilize them, and the men too. I shouldn't just say the women. They were forced sterilizing the native people, because that's all that is in Greenland, is natives, obviously. Sterilization, exactly. Make that make sense. All right? Make that make sense. And I guarantee they were probably all vaccinated too, because they're trying to get rid of them just as fast as they can, right? So another thing that I've got so much to share with you guys, and time goes by so fast. I know everyone's seen this yesterday, but things are going to happen for Don Lemon. So check this out.
In Minneapolis, Minnesota, a group of activists led by Don Lemon stormed a Baptist church by the name of Cities Church during their worship time. They were screaming and chanting, disrupting the singing and the preaching, because they suspected an ICE officer may attend the church. This is a violation of what is known as the FACE Act, and not only do we condemn this act, but tonight I want to demand that the Department of Justice investigate what took place in Minneapolis apprehend those who broke the law, and arrest them accordingly. We must protect religious liberty in this country. As people meet to worship God, they have been given legally the right to enter, to worship, and to leave their place of worship. The Lord Jesus said, "In the world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer, I have overcome the world." I have preached for many years that there will come a time when we'll find out who are Christians by label and by convenience, and who are Christians by conviction. And certainly we're in.
So yeah, Don Lemon, to be honest with you, he is definitely going to get charged. It's some act that they made back in the 1900s called the KKK Act. I think of like Truman, either way. But I want you to hear how much hatred this person is. Like, thank God I never run into Don Lemon, because not all heroes wear capes, but let's just say when I give the term throat punch, this guy would get more than a throat punch. Check out this little pod that he went on.
There's a certain degree of racism there, and there's a certain degree of entitlement. I think people who are, in the religious groups like that, it's not the type of Christianity that I practice, but I think that they're entitled, and that entitlement comes from a supremacy, a white supremacy. And they think that this country was built for them, that it is a Christian country, when actually we left England because we wanted religious freedom. It's religious freedom, but only if you're a Christian and only if you're a white male, pretty much. And so, yeah, I absolutely 100%, but it's an intimidation tactic. And, I said, I don't understand how I've become the face of it when I was a journalist. I do understand that I'm the biggest name there. And I'm also, as I was on with my producers this morning, you and Kylie talk all the time. My producers were saying, I said, how did I become the face of this? And my producer said, Don, you're a gay black man in America, and you have a platform, and you're the biggest name. Of course, you're going to be the person that they single out, and they're going to make the headline because it plays to their base. And their base is full of racist, bigoted homophobes, like Nicki Minaj, by the way.
Yeah, Nikki really tortured him on her tweets, calling him the biggest douchebag out there and blah, 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 and more stuff. Yeah, Don, you're definitely going to jail, not because you're gay and not because you're black. It's just you're a complete douchebag, and you're lucky that we never see eye to eye, because I definitely would take the charge of giving you a good old elbows up in the face. And yeah. So Jaco mentioned something about Greenland and stuff that we hear a lot of conspiracies. Obviously, there's a conspiracy going around that Greenland obviously has underground tunnels. Of course, the whole world's got underground tunnels. But let's keep in mind, there's only 60,000 people of the population in Greenland. It's covered in snow. All right. And someone asked me today, Vincent, you asked me today to let the viewers know who owns Greenland. Canada doesn't own Greenland. Obviously, Denmark owns Greenland because of the Vikings. But literally, it's not got any Vikings on there. Literally, it's just natives. And 60,000 in Greenland is huge. You don't even understand. You got to take the size of Greenland and compare it to the United States, and you'll see how big Greenland is. For to have 60,000 people in there, it's like a complete. It's isolated. Nobody gives two cents about living in Greenland. But Donald Trump has said it. And if he said he's taking Greenland for a reason, he's taking Greenland for a reason. Obviously, it's better for the United States to take over Greenland, because the whole point of Donald Trump taking over Greenland is to do this. All right. Once Trump takes over Greenland, this is the plan. You'll have every border covered by United States. All right. This is the whole plan, because you can't trust China. You can't trust the UN. I'm not going to say Russia. Russia is a joke. All right. Because Trump is working with Putin. All right. Well, let's just put it that way. And I've been saying this for the longest time. Trump and Russia have nothing against each other. Plain and simple. I've said this hundreds of times. I'll bet my whole farm on it. My whole cannabis farm in Colombia. You got Trump, Xi, Putin, North Korea, of course, with Jing, whatever you call it, Kim, Bolsonaro, and Brazil. You got them all, and I'd like to say Modi with India, but I don't even care about India. Literally, built a 20-foot wall and fill it with water. you know, when I think about India. With that being said, it's not a threat against Russia. The threat with China, you got to remember, China is a big country, and there's two different types of government in China. Remember that time, guys, a year or two ago, I can't remember precise, when they literally arrested one of the politicians. He was the former, I think it was the former president or something, that was trying to stage a coup against Xi. Remember that? They went right into the parliament building and they arrested him in front of everybody. Remember that a couple of years ago? Because they found out that he was going to try to execute Xi or something. We never really got the full story with it. But let's just say, like the United States, there's two sets of government. There's two sets of military, and everybody is, when it comes to money, money is the greed of all evil, right? So a lot of people will do a lot of stupid things for money, including what they're doing in the States when it comes to those tards. Does it have a big heart machine there? I think the heart machine, to be honest with you, is in Alaska. There's all kinds of reports with the heart machine in Alaska. With that being said, who really knows the truth? I also heard there is something in Greenland that, like a base that extends a lot under Greenland, with like an underground city, I guess you could say. I do believe the earth is flat. That's 110%. I do believe it's on a plane, airplane. When you call it, look at the plane, they call it by the plane, Plain. So if you look at it, how flat, if you guys ever have a chance to look at a map, and this is not crazy, take a look at how and where Greenland is on a flat map. All right, take a good look. When you take a good look on a flat map, they call it, because there's no such thing as a round Earth. Take a good look where Greenland is, and maybe you'll discover why you think Donald Trump wants Greenland. All right, I've never did any research on it yet. Okay, because I let the big man. He makes the big bucks. I let him worry about that stuff. I don't have to worry about that. So all I know is just a matter of time. All right, I know in Greenland there is an army base there. I know there's like a Gitmo in Greenland, just to let you guys know. There is like a Gitmo, like in Cuba, down in Greenland. So we'll just leave it to that. All right, guys, I think I will show one more video because I got a bunch of stuff. Speaking of gross, check this out. I don't think you guys seen this. Look at Mr. Sean Penn, and what does his thing look like, guys? Look at Sean Penn and his beautiful what? What do you guys think? Yes, I heard there was supposed to be like a spaceship covered in snow in Greenland, but I didn't want to make people think I was crazy. That's the rumor about something about that, but we'll just leave it to that. What are your thoughts on AI databases? Well, AI takes a whole crap load of electricity. Let's just put it that way. And I believe AI is going to be the destruction of all mankind. To be honest with you, it's going to do a lot of things. Artificial intelligence, to me, it's even Elon Musk said that AI is very dangerous to humanity. But yeah, the only song that comes to that mind is "Dude Looks Like a Lady." All right, because that's exactly what it is. Dude looks like a lady. That's why Aerosmith made that song. And they have no other choice to be dating trannies, whatever you call them. All right, because they worship Satan. They worship Baal, right? Remember, guys, the higher you are in celebrity or singing, look at their wives. Look at their wives, or whatever you call them. They're all Brooke Shields is a man. Jennifer Aniston is a man. All right, just to let you know, there's a lot of them that are men. So yeah, with that being said, look at Carney's wife. That's definitely a man. Carney's daughter, she switched over from daughter to son, right? It's a freaky world when you sell your soul to the devil, guys. You got to do some really crazy things. And unfortunately, that I would never change my son from a boy to a female for money. That will never happen. I'll just stick to the way I like it. So anyway, guys, I love you guys all. We'll see you guys back Thursday. I got more stuff to share with everybody. So I'm not going to download any more stuff unless it's very important, because I've still got a bunch of stuff to share with you guys. We just blabbered on like old ladies at bingo, but I love you guys all. Take care. I'm going to kick it off with this outro video that Mr. Manny, my brother from a different mother, made for me. It's 15 seconds. I love you guys all. And like Don Cherry says, you people hold that line. And for the people that don't like Trump, please don't watch my show, because you don't even understand what's going on in the world if you hate Trump. Anyway, I love you guys all. Take care. We'll see you Thursday.
Miss out. Bringing you the real truth, exposed. The Canadian Don is digging deeper, asking what others won't, and broadcasting it uncensored. For real. Join the conversation live with facts you can see and voices you can trust. Subscribe today.